皆さんどうもこんにちは。ダダ放送局のダダ B タイプです。今回の動画は英語版ウルトラマンカードゲームフレーバーテキストの編集者である EJ さんへのインタビュー動画となっております。動画の9割が英語となっておりますので字幕にてお楽しみください。
And EJ, you really do like Ultraman, right?
Oh, I love Ultraman's my favorite, genuinely.
And what's your favorite part about Ultraman?
That genuinely is a very tough question. My philosophy when it comes to Ultraman is I consider the Ultraman series to be a missing link in the development of film and TV culture globally. You look at creators like Ray Harryhausen, Jerry Anderson, who were, creating early stop motion practical effects, and then Eiji Tsuburaya with Gojira, brought that to a movie scale, really developed it in Japan, and then further honed that in bringing those movie tier effects to weekly television with Ultra Q and Ultraman, and then after his passing, Tsuburaya Productions kind of continued the efforts to keep honing that craft, and I think it's one of the very few remaining true tokusatsu productions that are still made, and I think that that's wonderful and important art.
So, of the cards you've worked on, is there one in particular that stands out?
Well, there's one in Japan that everyone seems to know, which is the BPO3 Belial, the greatest shame of the Land of Light, which I don't know if it was received correct. It was supposed to be like tragic. It's a shame what happened to Belial, that the fact that he turned out so bad is in an otherwise almost perfect society like a black mark on them. But my actual favorite is a different Belial, the ultra rare from BP03, which is kind of, I always try to go for more artistic pieces when I do the ultra rares, because they're the most valuable, they're the hardest to get, so you get a little bit of extra effort. But that one says, when the brightest star collapses, all that is left is darkness and hunger. And it's this idea of Belial was one of the greatest heroes of the Land of Light with Ken and Marie and Sophie, and turned away, and all of that good that he did was turned to nothing, and now he is just a yawning void of ambition and grudges. Belial's one of them. The other one is the most recent ultra rare Zeton. In North America, I don't feel that Zeton is feared enough. I very clearly remember Zeton being this terrifying threat in the original Ultraman, in Return of Ultraman, and because a lot of Americans and Canadians don't have the context of those original shows, I put throughout BPO7 tried very hard to constantly drill in this idea of Zeton is the scariest ultra kaiju. And so topping it up, in the SSSP, I just say its existence is a trauma in the heart of the Ultras, because the ending of Return of Ultraman with Zeton Nidaime, Jack wants to run away. But for the UR, how do I phrase it? Implacable, unstoppable, the end approaches regardless of bargain or prayer, as in you cannot get away from Zeton. It will keep coming. It has to be confronted as the final threat. And I love Zeton. I think Zeton's so cool. In general, the English flavor text is made to inform players who have not seen the series that these characters have come from. There are a lot of players in North America who did not know Ultraman before they tried UCG. So it's always designed, if this is your first time seeing Ultraman Dyna, the card should tell you who he is and why you should care about him. Because you don't have the greater cultural context of growing up with Dyna.
It's like advertisement, right? Wow.
For me, I see UCG in North America as a way to bring the series to new people. That there's simply the reach in North America is never going to be in Japan, where it's existed for 60 years, basically uninterrupted in one form or another. Every child knows who Ultraman is. UCG, for many people, is the first time they're seeing these characters ever. To help kind of illustrate things, for example, all of the SPs, every single one since BPO2, all share a theme, which is, why does this Ultra fight? What is the reason they're fighting? So in this case, Shinasuke's father, his disappearance is what inspired him to fight, and that led to him becoming Dyna. Orb, I referenced, his catchphrase, to illuminate the darkness and defeat evil. That is why he fights. And even kaiju like Belial, it's to carve out the heart of the land of light. Even that wouldn't satisfy him, but it is why he is on his path of revenge. So kind of at each level, the idea is to teach you something different about who these characters are.
I want to go next questions.
Yeah. So a lot of Ultraman Zero's cards have jokes in them. So how do you approach localizing them, how do you have to capture the right feel, like from Tsuraya to represent that flavor text?
So, I try not to do too many jokes. There's one that was very much intended as a joke, and that's the ultra rare. And for the ultra rares, I get a lot of latitude. I get a lot of kind of freedom to work because it's the rarest card. Only so many people are going to see it. So for a triple rare that someone is going to see 2 to 4 of in a box, it's got to be straightforward. And the further up you go, the funnier it can be. With the Zero card specifically, it was, the 15th anniversary. It's been the Zero's 15th anniversary for a little while now. And I wanted to reference that in a way that wasn't disrespectful. It's very important, obviously, to be respectful of these characters. These are heroes. They are not just in-universe heroes. They're heroes to men, women, and children around the world. At the same time, it's supposed to be fun. UCG is fun. Ultraman is fun. If it's not fun, then there's something missing. So the joke that was made, it wasn't a big joke, but Zero's catchphrase is, "You're 20,000 years too early to defeat me," and I just went, it's been 15 years. How many years are left before we can beat him? So 19,985 years too early still.
So you've always been a long fan of Ultraman. Have you seen everything?
I have seen apps. There are, I think, 5 stage shows I still haven't seen that are like Tsuburaya sells the footage of. We get to the point where I've seen like Gekiden even. I've read the Uchiyama comics.
So like you've seen not just like the traditional TV shows, but like all the manga, everything, books.
Everything I could find Ultraman over the past, not just I've worked with Tsuburaya for 7 years, but like since I was 4 or 5, I've always been like reading and finding and watching Ultraman stuff.
So, like, what is your favorite deck right now? Whether it's even like because it's your favorite character, or what is the deck you're using?
So the deck I've been playing the longest consistently is Rosso Blue. I've been playing Rosso Blue since BPO2 started. I have never taken it apart. It's the one that I have the absolute maximum rarity for everything. That's definitely one of them. I am also a pretty dedicated Zero player. I play Zero a lot, Mono Zero. I don't necessarily think it's the best deck right now, but it's one that I just kind of enjoy the motion of. But Gankun can confirm this, in North America, the deck that is associated with me the most is probably Belial.
Like everyone, just like you were talking about how you wrote in like the flavor text for Zeton, a lot of the Americans must think of you as like Zeton, the final boss.
Maybe a little bit. I think that there's definitely some anger there sometimes. But I have the benefit, of getting to practice with cards all the time. This is my job, and I have, fancy decks. The reason I always say Belial is just because, and you were there last year at a convention, because Americans did not have an easy way to get promo Zeton, which is obviously a very important card, especially now. So there was a challenge at a convention that I set up where if you beat me in a best of one game, I would give you a Zeton. I called it my 100 Zeton army because I had 100 copies. And I ended up playing 125 games in one day with the same Belial deck. And this was like late BPO3 format. And I won 110 of them.
So, for in your opinion, people in America who are playing the card game, like a lot of characters have different gimmicks or themes to them. Like Kaiju is really powerful, typically. Like Dinah has the scene, like abilities and tricks. So, how do you think players approach like deck building or looking at those decks, like whether it's the gimmicks or the characters?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think obviously people who are already Ultraman fans are going to gravitate towards their favorite characters, regardless of how difficult they may be to play. I think for people who are coming in as TCG players, you are going to look for something that suits your style. I know Belial is very popular in Canada because it's very straightforward, just smacks you until you're done. Omega is also very popular because, they like the randomness aspect of the triple rare. They like the different Medio Kaiju effects. And in America, especially in New York, where I was spending a lot of my time, it was very much stick to your favorites. And the only period of hiccup for that was like 1 or 2 weeks around the New York qualifier, where people were kind of cramming to actually, try and win their place here. And that's where Chris, that's how Chris got his ticket.
It's very similar to Japan. Yes, a lot of people pick their favorite characters first, but then, when there's a big event involved, people will gravitate towards the more powerful decks.
Something I appreciate is even the gap between really powerful decks and the average deck is not very far. So if you get like suitably good at your favorite deck, you can win against the strongest decks in the game. Pretty regularly even. Until I left for Canada, I was playing Zero every single week since BPO5 came out, and that was like a month and a half, 2 months, and I don't think I lost a single event. I might be an outlier though.
He really wants to thank you for like the work you've put into the flavor text and like you've really put a lot of thought, and you can clearly see that in the interview, like the heart and soul into the flavor text, and you really wanted to deeply express his thanks and gratitude for what you do here.
Well, I am very thankful that Japanese players enjoy the flavor text. There is something exciting for me that Ultraman is a global series, but it is a series that is from Japan. It is Japanese culture, and there's always the worry that, if I'm too jokey or too simple, that if it does go back to, to Japanese players, they're like, well, the Americans don't take Ultraman seriously. And I'm really, it's very good to hear that I'm not embarrassing Ultraman to Japanese player base.
Like hearing this story here, sometimes he wishes even some of the Japanese card took a little bit of this flavor and meaning into how they approach their flavor text.
I truly believe that the Japanese team doing the flavor. I would not be able to make the pieces that I make, the flavor text that I make, if the Japanese team wasn't, putting all of their heart and soul into that, so that I always have something to bounce off of and feel both suitably different but never too far away.
Like even in Japan, there's been a lot of people who have been introduced to the card game or introduced to Ultraman through the card game, and even with the World Championship event recently, we were able to bring a lot of people around the world to, even if they didn't speak the same language, to share their love for Ultraman and wanted to express this feeling. It'd be great if we can continue to do this each year and continue to, I guess, bring bonds to everyone.
I believe in this game's future and that it will continue to bring together fans new and old. The game is constantly evolving, constantly growing, and the fan base grows with it, the player base grows with it. It is genuinely my favorite game to participate in, no matter where I am. If I can find someone playing Ultraman, I'll play 6 games in an hour, just back and forth, and never get tired. And I'm so looking forward to BP08 and the future and getting to play more games as soon as I get home. And maybe even tonight if I can find a challenge match before.
Thank you for coming our YouTube channels.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we can continue to ask questions all day. It's been really exciting, but we think we're going to have to call it here. And it's been a great. So he's very thankful. You've been able to bring the game to the States, and he's wishing that you can continue to grow the game and bring it to new players.
I'm in agreement, and I wish all the luck in the world. I think that fan channels like yours and like yours, I don't know if I'm allowed to shout it out in the middle of the interview, but that the player base is more than anything what moves this game forward, and player-created strategies and player-created deck lists and footage and interviews like this sometimes, I don't know. But the world of Ultraman grows because fans like you carry it with you, and that is, I couldn't be prouder.
So we're going to end the interview here today. If you have any message you want to share to any of the English-speaking fans, feel free to share your message, and then we'll end with a cross-touch.
Just once again, thank you. Keep supporting the Ultraman card game. Keep supporting YouTube channels like this, and I can't wait to see you at the next game.
Thank you for coming. Yes!
Thank you for having me.